Welcome back to Pilates by Brianna. Today's workout is going to be intermediate, again around 30 minutes. You just need your reformer and your box. You don't need any other equipment besides that. We will be starting on our single leg footwork settings. So I have on my balance body machine 2 heavy red springs, 1 medium blue, and we'll be starting laying down. So go ahead and get your reformer set up and I will meet you there. Come to lay on your backs, and you'll put the heels on the bar. Headrest can be up or down for now, and find your neutral spine. Arms will be down by your side on the carriage. Take an inhale and an exhale to settle yourself, and then begin pressing the carriage out and in. Heels are on the bar, initiating with the glutes. It's on a light spring. We're just doing a little bit of the double leg. Now next time as you press out, you're going to bring your right knee into the chest and then both feet will be on the bar when you come in and switch. So you're alternating marching here. As you press out, one knee will come into the chest. A few more like this. Working into our obliques, our stabilizers. And bring the carriage in. Right toes will go on the bar, left leg will go over the bar for bicycle. As we press out, the left knee will come into the chest and then shoot back over the bar as you bring the carriage back in. So when you press out, that left knee will come into the chest and over the bar as you bring the carriage back in. Last one like this. And now as you press out, you'll keep the left knee straight and it'll go up towards the ceiling when the carriage is out, and back over the bar when you bring the carriage in. So we're just keeping the knee straight and the foot will go up towards the ceiling as you press out, maintaining that stability throughout the pelvis. Last one. And then bring the carriage on in. And we're going to switch sides. Left toes on the bar, right leg over the bar. As you press the carriage out, the right knee will come into the chest for our bicycle. We're doing about 8 repetitions here. One more of this bicycle, and now as you press out, you'll keep the right knee straight and it'll go up towards the ceiling. And same, about 8 of them will do, possibly getting a little stretch in the hamstrings as you press the carriage out. We'll make this one the last one and bring the carriage in. Put both toes on the bar, come into your Pilates V, and then lift the leg up so you're in a turnout position, tabletop, and then begin pressing out and in with the right leg. So your right leg is in a Pilates V, the left leg is in tabletop, but in a turnout. So the left knee is about even with your shoulder. Come halfway in for little pulses with that right side, controlling the carriage up an inch and down an inch. And then you can press all the way out and bring the carriage back in. Both toes on the bar, find that Pilates V again, and then lift the right leg up so you're in that turnout tabletop position and begin pressing out and in with the left leg. Press all the way out and then come halfway in for your pulses here. Bringing the carriage up an inch, down an inch, trying not to bounce, trying to keep it controlled. Almost there. And then press the carriage all the way out and back in. Heels will go back hip distance on the bar. You're going to put the headrest down if you had it up. For bridges, arms will go up towards the ceiling, palms facing one another. Roll the hips as you begin bringing the back up off the carriage. Inhale at the top, exhale to roll back down, one vertebrae at a time. So we're doing nice rolling bridges here, really feeling the vertebrae one at a time. Hit the mat and leave the mat. We're articulating through the spine. Next time you lift the hips up, we're going to stay up. You're going to bring one knee out to the side a little bit, then back in, and then switch sides. So we're alternating here, just opening up one side, stabilizing through the opposite side. Hands are still up towards the ceiling. Try to keep the hips level as you bring the one knee out to the side. We're going for about 5 on each side here. Last one to each side. And then when both knees are back towards center, we'll begin pressing the carriage out and in, using the heels, the backs of the legs. Hands are still up towards the ceiling, but if you need some support, you can place the hands down on the carriage, pressing the carriage all the way out. The hips will lower a little bit as you press out, and then when the carriage comes back in, the hips will raise. One more to go. And then when the carriage is all the way in at the stopper, you can roll the hips back down onto the carriage. Drape the legs over the bar, and we'll roll up, chin to chest, roll all the way up to sitting for a spring change. We're going to take off one heavy red spring, so we are left with one heavy red, one medium blue, and then you can pick up the straps. I'm holding onto the short loops, legs are in tabletop. Begin pulling the arms down to your side, back up towards the ceiling. The shoulder blades are pressing into the carriage, so we're strong throughout the whole shoulder complex. Now you're going to pull down, straighten out the legs, come into your 100 position. Begin pumping the arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Last inhale. Last exhale. And rest down. Good work. Bring the arms out to a T and then back to your side. Out to a T, back to your side, legs stay in tabletop. Just kind of warming up those muscles before we add on. Bring the arms out to a T, pause. When you bring them to your side, come into a chest lift, extend the legs for starfish. You're going to open the legs and the arms at the same time, stay in your chest lift, and then bring everything back in to close. So we're just opening and closing. And then bend the knees, rest down, keep the arms at your side for triceps. We'll do a few regular triceps, legs and tabletop before we go into coordination, or we'll add on to that tricep. Last of the tricep. Now as you straighten out the arms, you'll come into a chest lift, extend the legs, open, close the legs 3 times, bend the knees, bend the elbows, rest the head down. So you're going to straighten out the arms as you straighten the legs, come into a chest lift, open, close the legs 3 times, bend the knees, and rest down. We're doing 5 rounds of this total, so we'll do 2 more here. And then next time you are in your rest position, you could bring the carriage all the way in, hang up the straps, grab hold onto the pegs, and just windshield wiper the legs side to side. You can pause into a stretch with both legs on one side, keeping the collarbones open, shoulders wide. Getting a stretch through the chest and throughout the whole back and into some of the hip muscles. And then you can come all the way up to sitting. We're going to take off the heavy red, so we are left with 1 medium blue. Come to kneeling, facing one side of the reformer. I have my right side closest to the foot bar. You'll pick up the short loop with both hands, and you're going to press the arms out in front. You'll feel the core activate to stabilize, and then pull the arms back into the chest. So we're just doing press outs here. You're kneeling nice and tall. You always have the option of sitting on a box if you would like. You're pressing the arms straight out on your exhale. Inhale to draw the arms back in. Last one. And then we're going to add in a rotation. So now bring the arms away from you, and then using your hips, your core, you're going to rotate towards the foot bar and then back to center. Arms stay long, and I want you to try to keep the arms right in front of your belly button. So you're trying to use the core to rotate, you're not pulling with the arms. So very controlled movements, really concentrate on using your obliques. One more to go. Then come back to center, hang up the strap. You're going to scooch a little bit closer to the foot bar so that right knee is kind of on the edge. Step the left foot forward, the hip is externally rotated, and you're in a low squat. And then using the inner thighs, you're going to pull the carriage towards the front leg as you raise up. So it's a lot of inner thigh work here. And think of lifting through your pelvic floor as well as you come into that more upright position. And then you're controlling the carriage back into that deep squat. One more to go. Good work, you guys. Then when the carriage is all the way in at the stopper, you're going to turn around, and we're going to repeat that on the other side. Come to kneeling, pick up the front strap, holding onto the short loop, interlace your hands, and we have our press out. So you'll start with the strap at your sternum, press out straight ahead of you, and then back in. Exhale to press out, inhale back in. Two more. Last one. And pause. Now we have that rotation, so we're adding on to it. Press the arms out in front, rotate towards the foot bar, and then back to center. Again, thinking of using your core to rotate. The arms are just an extension of your spine. So the hands are staying in line with the belly button. Last one. And then you can hang up the strap. You're going to scooch closer to the foot bar again. The right leg will go in front of the reformer, externally rotated, so pointed at an angle. You're starting in that deep squat. And then you're thinking of zipping the inner thighs together, lifting through the pelvic floor as you bring the carriage out, coming into a more upright standing position. And then when the carriage goes back into the stopper, you're sitting in that kind of squat position. Last one here, and then bring the carriage all the way in. You're going to put on one heavy red, take off the blue, and then come to kneel facing the shoulder blocks, but I want your feet off the back edge of the carriage. Pick up the straps, I'm holding on to the short loop, and we'll go into chest expansion. Pull the arms to your side, pause, control it forward. Pull the arms to your side, and then control it forward. Think of bringing the shoulder blades together and keeping the shoulders away from the ears. You're kneeling up tall, reaching through the crown of the head. Slight engagement in the core, maybe a slight tuck of the tailbone as well to keep that deep abdominal engagement. One more. And then you're going to flip your arms, the palms are facing up towards the ceiling, elbows extended, lean back a little bit, rock back, and we'll go into bicep curls. Try to keep the elbows pretty much in line with the shoulders as you bend the elbows and then release it out. You have some engagement in the thighs as well to maintain this rock back position. Last one. And then you're going to add on a blue spring. So we're on one heavy red, one medium blue. Cross the straps, Still kneeling, still holding on to the short loops, we'll come into a high elbow row. So you're going to pull the arms back towards you as you bend the elbow, squeezing between the shoulder blades, and then control the arms back out. So a nice high elbow row here. One more here, and then you can uncross the straps, hang them up, and we're going to stay on this spring setting. So listen to this setup. You're going to put your hands on the headrest, left toes will be tucked, and you're going to externally rotate the right hip, and the whole foot will be on the foot bar. You're lifting up your left knee, and you're using the right leg to press the carriage out and back in. Spine stays straight. So we will be feeling the glutes here, but a lot of core and a lot of that left thigh working as well as shoulder. So this really is a full body exercise. Keep your spine straight, work those deep abdominals, and then rest down. And then we'll switch. Right toes will be tucked, left foot on the bar. When you're ready, you'll lift the right knee and begin pressing the carriage out and in here with that left leg. We still have the hands on the headrest, spine is straight, your neck is in line with the spine. This one is just guaranteed to get your heart rate up. If it doesn't, let me know, I'll be very impressed. Last one, and then rest down. I like to sit back in a little child's pose, my hands around the frame, just slowing my heart rate a little bit and getting a little stretch through the spine. Come on up. You're going to put on one light yellow spring, take off the blue and the red. You're going to take off the straps, put them behind the reformer, and put the short box on the frame of the reformer. You're going to step into the well, put your left leg on the box, right foot on the carriage, and come into an upright position. Then you're going to sit back towards the heel of that left leg and then use that left quad to come back up. Carriage is not moving. We're stable here. You're just sitting back towards your heels and back, and then raising back up. Last one here, and then we're going to add on to that. So now you're going to sit back towards your heel, pause, pull the carriage in once, twice, and then once it's back at the stopper, come back to your upright position. So sit back, pull the carriage in 2 times. Once it's back at the stopper, come back upright. You have 3 more rounds like this, so 5 sets total. This is your last one. And then come all the way back up. Hands will go behind your head, side bend over to the risers, and as you come up, you're going to pull the carriage in, keeping the right knee straight. So side bend over, as you come up, you're pulling the carriage in. That right inner thigh is really active. And you might notice that even when you side bend, you're still using that right inner thigh to maintain control on the carriage. So that inner thigh is working pretty much this whole set. Last one. And then bring the carriage all the way into the stopper. Kind of a funky transition here. Both hands to the box, and then carefully put both knees on the carriage. And then your left forearm will go on the box, the shoulders over the elbow. And we're going to do an oblique tuck in here. So I like to have my right hand on the hip, and you're bringing the carriage in towards the box, using the left obliques to do the work. So you're lifting the hips up and then controlling the carriage back out. Last one. And then bring the carriage all the way in. Rotate to face the box, both hands on the box, and come into a plank. Shoulders over wrists. And then you're going to bend the knees to pull the carriage in towards the box and then control it back out. So this will be our transition. using our deep abdominals to pull the carriage in, control it out, keeping a nice line through the spine, strong through the shoulders. Last one, stay strong. And then my legs are long enough that I'm going to bring my right leg right onto the box. Left leg will stay on the carriage. You're pivoting to face the one side of the room. And now we've got our rock backs here. So that left leg is straight, right shin is on the box. You're going to sit back towards your heel and then think of using that right thigh to help you come back to an upright position. We'll go for 10. Last one. And then I'm just adjusting myself a little bit to get more comfortable. Okay, and now we have the pull in. So you're going to sit back, pull the carriage in once, twice, then let it all the way back to the stopper, come back to upright. Sit back, pull the carriage in 2 times using that left inner thigh, and then come back to upright. You have 3 more. This is your last time through. And then once you're back up to upright, hands will go behind your head. We're side bending over to the risers. And as you come up, you're pulling the carriage in. And then as the carriage goes back to the stopper, you're side bending over to the risers. So that left inner thigh is pretty active throughout the entirety of this portion of the set. Last time through. And then when the carriage is back in to the stopper, we have that funky transition. So hands to the box, step over, so that way you're onto the carriage. Your right forearm is on the box, and we've got the side crunch. So you're going to use that right oblique to bring the carriage in towards the box. One more time. And then when the carriage is all the way in, you'll turn to face the box, knees on the carriage, both hands on the box, and just sit back for a quick shoulder stretch. And then you can come on off and put the long box on the carriage. I'm going to put on a medium blue, so I'm left with 1 light yellow, 1 medium blue. And I'm going to hang my straps back up for later. We're going to lay on the box facing the foot bar for a swan variation. Once you're on the box, both hands will go to the bar to press out, and then the left hand is going to wrap in front of the box, and we're going to do single arm swan, about 5 of them. So as the carriage goes into the stopper, you'll raise the head or the chest up off the box, coming into your lumbar extension. You're only coming as far into the stopper as you feel comfortable. One more. And then both hands to the bar and switch. The right hand will go in front of the box, and we have 5 of that single arm swan here. Next time you press the carriage out, both hands will come to the bar. Keep the chest down as you bring the carriage in, and step on off. Well, while I'm here, I'm just going to do a quick spring change. I'm putting on 2 heavy red, and I'm taking off the 1 medium blue and 1 light yellow. So we're gonna set up for feet and straps. You can take the box off, come back to lay on your back. Headrest will be down, and put your feet in the straps. You're going to extend the legs out over the foot bar and then bring them up towards the ceiling. Hands are down by your side. We'll go into hip lift. So you're going to begin peeling the back up off the carriage as the legs go up towards the ceiling. Minimal movement in the carriage. You're keeping a lot of tension on the straps with the back of the legs and the hamstrings, so that way the carriage doesn't move too much. You're using the core to help peel your back up off the carriage. We have 2 more. This will be our last one. Once the hips are back onto the carriage, bend the knees and come into frog. Heels together, toes apart, knees in line with the shoulders. You'll press out, straightening the legs, and then bend the knees in line with the shoulders to come back in. Think of zipping up through the inner thighs as you press out. Next time the legs are straight, pause. Keep the legs straight as you bring them up towards the ceiling and back down over the bar. Try to maintain that heel connection, that Pilates V the entire time. Possibly getting a little stretch in the hamstrings when the legs are up overhead. Next time the legs are up towards the ceiling, pause. Bring the arms through the straps up towards the ceiling, palms facing one another. You're going to bring just the left leg out to the side a little bit and back in. So we're bringing the left leg out, back in, trying to keep the right hip on the carriage. Also think about keeping the right shoulder blade on the carriage. So you should have equal weight in both shoulder blades as you bring the left leg out to the side. And then we're going to repeat that on the right side. So the right leg will go out a little bit and back in. Notice any differences between the 2 sides. I know I'm able to go further with my right leg while maintaining that equal weight through my shoulder blades. So any sort of differences, just things to kind of take inventory of. And then when both legs are overhead, place the hands back on the carriage, bring the feet together, pull the legs straight down through center, circle them around, back up for our big hip circles in this direction, going as wide as you feel comfortable. Last time around. And then when the legs are overhead, we'll pause and reverse. Open the legs out wide, pull them around and down. Heels will come back together. Keep them together as you bring the legs up towards center. So just our hip circles in the opposite direction. One more time around. And then when the legs are up overhead, you're going to open them out wide for an inner thigh stretch. We did a lot of inner thigh work today. You can grab hold onto the straps, onto the tape maybe, and gently rock side to side if that feels good for you. And then find stillness. Bring the legs back together, bend the left knee, right leg will stay up towards the ceiling for a stretch throughout that right calf and hamstring. We'll take a few breaths here. And then go ahead and switch. Bend the right knee, left leg will straighten up towards the ceiling for a stretch throughout that left calf and hamstring. And then you could bend both knees. The bottoms of the feet will come together, knees out wide, and we'll finish with a butterfly stretch. So a little extra love for your inner thighs after that work that we did today. And then you can take your feet out of the straps, hang them up, come all the way up to sitting, and you are all done. Thank you for joining me. If you like this workout, please make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time.